whenever, you get this sort of, this attitude sometimes where you're like, but God, but Allah, I asked for it. It's like, as if we're in charge, right? We're in charge of what Allah does, when he does it, how he passes out his blessings. And it's like, but I said, it's almost like, this is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're not talking to a child like, didn't I tell you to do, to clean your room? Like, who are we talking to in this way? Unfortunately, sometimes we don't have adab with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We act as though Allah is working for us. A'udhu billah. Allah's not a genie in a bottle. Give me my wishes. Like I own you and you better give me what I asked for and you better give it to me when I ask for it. This is a very, very, very bad attitude, and it's a very poisonous attitude. This isn't the way we deal with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't make demands to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're the beggars. Remember that. Allah's the king, right? We're not in charge. We're not the ones who tell Allah what to do. Yes, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala hears our dua, but that's because that's out of his mercy. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's, the way in which Allah gives us our dua and the time scale by which Allah chooses, that is for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We don't dictate these things. And so sometimes people, unfortunately, we have this weakness where we sort of try to use religion. You know what I mean? Like we're using dua to get the material things that we want. And it's fine to make dua for nice things, right? It's okay to make dua for dunya, as long as obviously it's halal. But we have to be careful because the ultimate objective is not dunya, right? It's almost like our ultimate objective is dunya. It's like, I want a big house. I want this type of spouse. I want this much money. I want this much status. So let's see, how am I going to get there? Well, I heard that we can use religion to get there. There's this thing in religion that we can use called dua. And let's use that to get to our ultimate objective. And then, and here again, there's nothing wrong with making dua for these things. رَبَّنَا آتِنَا فِي الدُّنْيَا حَسَنَةً وَفِي الْآخِرَةِ حَسَنَةً وَقِنَا عَذَابَ النَّارِ. Oh Allah, give us good in this life, give us good in the next life, and protect us from the hellfire. Great. But here's the problem, is what is our attitude when we don't get our demands? How are we asking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And then how do we behave when we don't get our way? That's very telling, right? Who's in charge here? Like who's in charge? Are we in charge or is Allah in charge? Remember, we need to stay in our lane, right? We need to remember that we are the beggars. We are the beggars. That's why dua is like this. Because you're literally begging from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We're the beggars and He's the king. نَحْنُ الْفُقَرَاء. We are the poor and He is the rich. وَأَنْتَ الْغَنِيُّ. Right? أَنْتَ الْغَنِيُّ وَنَحْنُ الْفُقَرَاء. You are the rich. You are the one who doesn't need anything or anyone. And we are the poor. We are the ones who are begging. So we just have to really know our place. Like stay in our lane a little bit. Allah's not working for us. Okay, we are working for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and it is out of His generosity that He gives us our dua. It isn't like He owes us. This is the attitude we have to understand. That this attitude of, but I asked, why didn't He give? He owes me. That is poisonous. And we have to be very, very mindful of not having that attitude that Allah owes us something.